This case is of tragic proportions here. How do you decide which cases to handle, which cases to represent? Like,
we look at each case individually. We look at the client, we look at what their injuries are, and we try to help people who need access to justice, to the courtroom. These are people that can't afford to fight major corporations such as Johnson & Johnson or this dermatological clinic on their own. We invest our time, we invest our money, and we try to help them get justice.
When you look at, when you're talking about justice, you know, oftentimes, and I've heard this many times, the defendant may offer a measly little settlement, you know, $10,000, something like that. No, in Ryan's case, it's going to require a lot of money to do these hip replacements for the rest of his life. How do you know when whether you want to take a case to trial or whether you want to settle the case? How do you know?
Sure. Well, Steve, you know, Stewart and I, between us, have about 50 years collectively of experience. So we have what we feel is a good understanding of the relative value of cases. So what we do is we sit down with the client. Once we feel an offer is reasonable compensation, we'll sit down with the client and advise the client.
Based on other cases of a similar nature?
Absolutely, based on other cases of a similar nature.
Right.
Ultimately, Steve, it's up to the client.
Yeah.
Our job is to counsel the client and advise the client whether or not we think it's a fair and reasonable settlement.
Okay, great. I hope that in Ryan's case you reach a fair and reasonable settlement, because he certainly deserves it. And I want to thank both of you for spending time with us today.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. You can get more information about our guest and the issues at insiderexclusive.com.